Good morning, guys. We're here in beautiful Sand Beach yet again, Portland, North Coast, Jamaica. Another weekend. The weekends are coming by so fast. Just an indication how quickly life will come to an end, and another reminder of how urgently we need to just focus on the best things that it has to offer and try to find the best way we can positively impact the situation and create a legacy, not just for our own families, but to change the world. And I've been focusing on one aspect of life, which is marriage. And I've made this my mandate for however long I have left here on earth. Now, earlier this week, I wrote about putting cart before horse. And it dawned on me that all the desires we have in life are good. Jehovah created us to have these desires. But as the creator, he has also given us a manual as how best we can live this life consistent with his purposes for our lives. He gave us the Holy Bible as the manual for how we should live our lives and how we should conduct ourselves in whatever we've decided as our life's pursuits. Now, I've heard people criticize me for saying that because I'm married, I'm making marriage into the end all be all. But nothing can be further from the truth, because not everyone can be married. Not everyone is suited for marriage. I dare say marriage were meant for men and women and not male and female. Now, in order for a person to be a man or a woman, they must first conform to what the Creator intended them to be and to do. Now, when I spoke about putting the cart before the horse, it's precisely along the lines of persons allowing their desires and feelings to dictate their behavior, values, and attitudes. And if everyone freely pursued and acted on their feelings, can you imagine the chaos we'll have in this world? Sort of why we're having the chaos we're having in the world, because freedom is misconstrued as unbridled license to do as one pleases. Now, sex is a wonderful thing. I think it's the greatest invention of the Creator. But he has stipulated the conditions under which sex ought to be enjoyed. Sex was created expressly, as per Holy Bible teachings, for husbands and wives. In the same way the Creator made the Garden of Eden as a paradise when he made Adam and then created Eve as a helpmate to enjoy and rule over the garden, Satan came along as a serpent And as serpents do, they'll attack the weakest link in any organization, in any relationship, to have their way, which is precisely what he did. He convinced Eve that what Jehovah had created and given them free reign over was not sufficient. They needed to eat of the only forbidden tree so that they can have the knowledge of good and evil and supposedly be equivalent to Jehovah. Now, along that premise, nothing much has changed, because Jehovah created man as his de facto head of households so that he can work on establishing his kingdom, heavenly kingdom on earth. But we see what we have today. We have males and females pretending to be men and women, getting married and wreaking havoc on the world. Because let us understand clearly, not everyone who's married are men and women. In the same way, we have people giving into their feelings and desiring sex outside of the context of marriage. And in the extreme and horrible cases, they end up having children. And I shouldn't just say they, because I have been one who had children out of wedlock, both as a fornicator and as an adulterer. Now, but for the grace of Jehovah, I couldn't be sitting here having the audacity to be even talking on this subject. But the truth of the matter is, it is precisely for that reason why I'm able to speak, because been there, done that, and I've gotten a t-shirt to prove that it will never work. It matters not how successful Satan allows you to feel you are in the context of the matrix which he controls, he created and controls as an alternative universe to what Jehovah intended. And if we juxtapose Holy Bible teachings with what obtains in the matrix, you can readily see how antithetical the rules of engagement within the context of the matrix are to Jehovah's kingdom principles as per Holy Bible teaching. Now, because we're all born hardwired for sin, we're born in sin, Satan has an easy job because our natural inclination is to sin. Now, his task is so easy because all he has to do is to get us to enjoy, pursue everything that Jehovah created for us to enjoy and pursue, but just out of context, because he knows that once you're living outside of context, which is tantamount to being disobedient to Jehovah's kingdom principles, then you're twice defeated. This is precisely how he manages to keep us in bondage to sin, because we want to enjoy sex as a prime example, and there's no rule that says you have to be married legally, because it's not a crime to have sex out of wedlock. Fornication is not a legal crime, nor is adultery. The only legalism for it is that it allows a legitimate excuse for marriages to be dissolved, which again is precisely what Satan wants to happen, because he doesn't want us to get married. He doesn't want marriage to be the foremost thing on our mind, because he knows that when a man and a woman, and a man is a male who's obedient to Jehovah's kingdom principles, a man is a male who is seeking first the kingdom of Jehovah and his righteousness. So being a man doesn't make you perfect, but it makes you righteous. Likewise, female who are seeking after Jehovah and his righteousness become women. And that's the foundation. After you become a man and woman, because of your position in the kingdom and your relationship with the Creator, then you're in a position to take it to the next step of finding your purpose. And once you're obedient and you're seeking first the kingdom, your purpose will become readily apparent. The fact that I've had one failed marriage and lost everything materially, lost my reputation and everything, and I'm able to sit here today, 7 years into my second marriage, being an advocate for marriage, because I am under no illusion that the best decision that I have ever made in my life is the second time I got married and decided that this time, come what may, I'm committed to doing it according to Jehovah's kingdom principles. So I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. I'm not going to put my business, my career ambitions, my lusts, my desires before my marriage. My marriage comes first, because that's how I intend to honor Jehovah. And what I have discovered, the more I prioritize my marriage according to how Jehovah says I'm to do it, I find that my business is doing better. Everything I touch does better. And I wish I could tell you that it's because of my business acumen and how great I am, but I think that I'm blessed because of my obedience. Now, I'm not here to paint the picture of pie in the sky, that life has no challenges. But what I want to tell you is that when you have your priorities in order and you understand that the horse is Jehovah and his kingdom principles and everything else comes after, that alignment in your values and attitudes is the recipe for good success. Because as I've been sharing with my readers in my blog, the fact that in the book of Joshua there's a specific reference to good success, by contraindication there has to be bad success. And looking back at my own life, I remember when I was having bad success. And by bad success, what do I mean? I was the top earner in my field. I owned houses. I had women. I had things. But that was not success. I actually found success after I lost all of those things and became virtually homeless, and found my way back to my priority, which is my Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Now that repositioning has changed the course of my life. And even in circumstances of apparent failure, in the end, I'm always victorious. The people in my life can attest to the fact that Jesus Christ has saved my life and is continuing to do so daily, because my desires are no different than they have always been. I still have the urges to do everything that I've always done. But I've learned submission, and I've learned to surrender to the superior sovereignty of a Jehovah by putting Jesus Christ first in my life and endeavoring to love my wife the way he loved the church. And that focus is enough to occupy my full attention, that I have no time to worry about anything else that's not going right or could be better. And by so doing, all I can do is share the good news of how Jehovah is blessing my life and blessing my household. And again, blessing is much more than material existential things. I'm sure most people see blessings as what my wife does for a living, the BMW X5 she drives, what I do for a living, the Raptor that I drive, the things we do on weekends. And I imagine they're guessing the money that we have in our bank account. And that has absolutely nothing to do with the blessing, because the blessing for me is at the end of every day, I can run home to my wife, who will be at home waiting for me to come. And by the time I jump in the shower and out, I have a warm meal, and we will be able to lie down and watch TV. And on weekends, we are able to take off to a hotel somewhere. And as has happened this weekend, we didn't go to a hotel, but we're here in Portland because we drove down this morning, leisurely drive, and we're enjoying each other's company, and we're building intimacy, and we're enjoying what Jehovah has created. No amount of money can buy the beach that is in the backdrop. All we have to do is look around and just be thankful. Every day we wake up, just give thanks for life. And once we have that spirit of gratitude, and we understand who is Lord and Master of all things, all the other things that our heart desires will be added once we're in alignment with the Creator. So I'll just keep spreading the good news and encourage everyone, no matter your status, race, color, creed. Just seek first the kingdom of Jehovah and his righteousness, and everything else that your little heart desires will manifest in his time, on condition that what you're about is to glorify him. Now, if you're trying to glorify yourself, then don't expect him to bless you. This is a wonderful day. Sea is relatively flat, so I'm going to go snorkeling now and then head back to Kingston and prepare for another week at the grind. Have a blessed life, peace, and love.